We can never talk about it enough. Support and resistance. Today, a beautiful, beautiful setup turning resistance into support. Gonna show you guys this setup. We traded it live during the live stream at 9:30 a.m. Eastern. Tune in on the channel. Well, let's break down this trade and talk more about this epic trade that went down today. Let's do it. All right, so pulling up the chart here on the MNQs. Yes, the MNQs is what we're trading right now. And we pull up the 1 minute chart here. You can see a couple different setups here that we got going on. We got this breakout from the 660s up 740s. We got this pullback here. We had this run up here. So this is the 1 minute chart. You guys can kind of see, overall just kind of the action. And look at this insane setup from earlier, just right before I made this video here, or as we're making this video. From the 700s up there to almost 800. So about $100 move there on those contracts. And look at this, absolutely just madness. So pulling up the trading view chart here, you can see this was pretty much the setup that we had, the first setup of the day. And this is pretty much turning this previous area of resistance, this 308.50 area, turning this into support. So we pushed through that level, that 308 level. We pushed through there, we pulled back. So we get rid of these two lines here. You can see that pullback, but pretty much just having a beautiful little setup here and knowing that we had that support. We were in that overall channel to the downside, and it was a pretty simple trade. As long as we were holding the 308s, we were looking for a move up to the 310s. We got a break from the 308s here up there to 310. Beautiful setup. What do we get? What do we have? Let's talk about some of the reasons to why this is a good trade, or why it was a good trade. And let's just get rid of all this other stuff on the chart right now, just so we can kind of focus on the candles alone, right? We have this previous area of resistance that is now turning into support. That's bullish, right? Like, we're not breaking back below 308 here. We're holding that 308 level. Also, if you look at these candles, we have a lot of wicks on the bottom of these two candles. Again, showing us that there's buyers. The bulls are trying to step in there to push this higher. For this setup here, looking at the 1 minute chart, again, a lot of wicks on the bottom. We're right there at the EMA. We got all this stuff lining up. We got this kind of overall flag, kind of downward trend. But again, that 40s there on resistance on the MNQs turning into support there. So that's when we're looking for that breakout to the upside. And that's exactly what we got. We got the breakout from here, basically squeezing above and running up to that 740 area there. So that was pretty much a textbook area of support, resistance there, resistance turning into support, the pullback, and then the move higher. What's funny, because if you look at this, you're like, oh, wow, it's going to start, rolling off. Like, the market might start to roll off here, which, if we didn't hold that 308 level, that was a very good possibility, especially seeing how far we were from the VWAP. You can see the VWAP all the way down here at the 307. Trade of the day, getting this breakout and this big move up here. But look at the next one. Check out the next setup. Oh my gosh. Same exact setup, right? We're looking at this previous area of resistance, that 309 area, right? That's multiple times getting stuck there. We broke through that. And then what do we get after that? We turned that previous area of resistance into support, my friends, and bam, we had a little bit of consolidation there at that 309.50 level, and then we had this huge move up there to 312 on the Qs. Beautiful setup overall. Like I said, you have that previous area of resistance. I cannot stress, when previous areas of resistance turn into support, it's a very bullish indicator, because we're now saying, like, hey, all those sellers that were sell earlier at this level are now either getting squeezed out, and the buyers are trying to support that level, and we've gotten rid of that resistance, and we're now turning that resistance into support, right? Into support there. So the target on that move was basically to break above that 310, 311 area, and there it is up there to 312. If you look at the bigger picture here, resistance-wise, we still got some more room to run, maybe 313, 360, 312, 60, 313 area being that next resistance. So we were clear in terms of resistance. We broke through this 308 area at 309. We broke through that. We really had no upside resistance there. So everything was looking really good. We were clear for takeoff, and we had that insane move. If you look here on the M&Qs, again, kind of seeing some chop consolidation. We're riding the EMAs there. I was entering this trade here at the 700 area, and my stop was basically below that 690s there on that level. So we basically have the bottom of these candles as my kind of mental stop there. And then look at this insane move from the 700s up there to almost the 800s. So about $100 move there on those contracts. And well, there it is. So we got two really good setups, two really good moves. We're going into the middle of the day now, and I talked about during the live stream, a lot of times during the middle of the day we get a little bit more choppy, maybe a little bit more grindy, not the same type of price action that we normally get in the mornings or at the end of the day. Normally throughout the middle of the day, we kind of just get more of like a, I don't know, I would say a little bit more consistent, not consistent, but just kind of grindy action. Maybe we're not getting as many breaks to the upside. Maybe the market's kind of slowing down there at that point. So I'm always kind of wary of that. Even though the market might still push higher here, I'm going to kind of sit back and be like, hey, there's no point in FOMOing. There's no point in chasing. Maybe there's some more setups later on today, but I think we got some really good setups there. And those two setups, those are all you need. Those two setups right there could pay your bills for the entire month if you really capitalize off of, identifying that setup and that breakout, the support turning into the resistance, turning into support, and all of those things lining up. We had the momentum, we had the trend, we had everything identified, and we were able to capitalize there on that trade. Like I said, if you guys haven't already tuned in, 9:30 a.m. Eastern tomorrow morning, Fresh Cash Fridays. Tune in, let's do it together, and we'll see what happens. Right now, the Q's up to the almost 312 here again, so what a time to be alive. What a time to be alive. So there it is. If you guys want to learn more about the platform that I'm using for trading futures, there's a link in the description. This is the IronBeam app. And, well, there it is. So another day, another dollar. If you guys haven't already hit that like button, subscribe button, you know what to do. Let me know in the comments. What are you guys trading? What's hot right now? What are you guys watching? You got any insane plays? Let me know. I'll talk to you guys later on.